Hello and welcome to this edition of EB-5 Investment Report. I'm Amy Rios. Today we are joined by Supervisor John Benoit, who represents the 4th District of Riverside County, California. Supervisor Benoit was appointed to the board in 2009 and serves as chairman. His district spans from Palm Springs to the Salton Sea. Riverside County is home to 59 regional centers, and the Board of Supervisors have been in full support of the program in the county. Currently, Riverside County is a TEA, Target Employment Area, meaning it's an area that is experiencing unemployment of at least 150%. And in such regions, the minimum investment required drops from $1 million to $500,000. Welcome to the show, Supervisor Benoit. Can you tell me about your district and the county of Riverside?
Oh, Riverside County is one of the largest of the 58 counties in California. We have about 7,100 square miles, larger than several states. My district is the largest in the county, with 49,000 plus of those square miles in the 4th Supervisorial District. Basically, it runs along Interstate 10 from the windmills near Palm Springs to the Colorado River. We have 10 cities and about 500,000 in population in that area.
Supervisor, can you tell me about the types of EB-5 projects and regional centers that you have in your district?
Well, in the 4th Supervisorial District, the eastern part of the Riverside County, we're still in the growth phase of EB-5 implementation. Our county as a whole has really embraced the process. Our first EB-5 center success story, we believe, will be around the Desert Dunes Golf Course, and it'll funnel through an EB-5 center recently approved in Desert Hot Springs. That project, we're actually told there are people in China today with the EB-5 group seeking financing opportunities to bring a large Canadian-based population into condominiums built in that area. But the EB-5 program and the financing is critical to the success of that, as it's been critical to the success of many other business startups in all of the county over the last several years. So we hope to see a whole lot more of that moving eastward into the Coachella Valley in the very near future.
Do you know when you expect to break ground on this project?
No, I don't. I mean, it's a fluid situation, and as you know, many projects in the last few years, financing is the most critical component and usually the most difficult to put together. That's where the EB-5 program has historically been a very valuable program, and you know, I'm going to be guessing, but I would say probably within the next couple of years, hopefully sooner, we would like to see that project actually get dirt moving.
Now, what was the original goal of the county in regards to the EB-5 program, and why has the Board of Supervisors been so supportive with the program?
Well, Riverside County has been and will historically and will again be one of the fastest growing counties in California, and been in the top 1 or 2 in the nation sometimes in the last 10 years, certain quarters. You know, with that growth, with the problems that occurred in the economy, we also ended up being at the top of the list of defaults years later. All of that meant that we had extremely high unemployment in Riverside County, and that unemployment rate is the focus of what we're trying to do with all of our import-export EB-5 related economic tools that we're using to try and put people back to work in Riverside County. So EB-5 is a huge part of our plan to try and right the ship of employment in Riverside County.
Can you tell us what your view is overall on the EB-5 program?
Well, it's a good tool. It's an important tool on our economic development tool chest. And particularly in the last couple of years, and probably for a few more, when financing is the key to getting a lot of small businesses started, and it's been very difficult to find financing. The EB-5 program has filled a gap for many small businesses that otherwise would not have occurred. So we continue to expect that it will be a player in eastern Riverside County as we move forward.
Now, are you aware of the increasing SEC scrutiny of the EB-5 process?
You know, I've been following that, and I've heard that there are, you know, problems, not in our county, not even in our country, but perhaps in other countries where they are taking advantage of people who are trying to be a part of this process. And you know, that's not unheard of in some parts of the world, but you know, we would like to see cooperation and full transparency of all of these processes on both sides of the ocean. We have more control about what goes on here than we do over there, wherever that might be. But particularly in China and some of the emerging capitals where there are people who would still like to be a part of our economy and participate in this program. We know that there are issues, and we're trying to work through the federal government to resolve those as best we can with the ability limited by what we can do in those foreign capitals.
Now, do you believe that to help improve the EB-5 program, regional centers and the developers they represent should be fully required to fully disclose in good faith to investors all pertinent details about their project, both the good and the bad?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you're in business, your word should be your bond. If you withhold important critical data in this process, I don't think anybody can support or even tacitly approve that kind of approach to business. That having been said, we know we're dealing with human beings and human nature, and it perhaps has occasionally been a part of a process. We would certainly not be a part of that, and we certainly hope that others wouldn't.
Supervisor, can you tell me if you think the Regional Center program that has been renewed every 3 years, should it be granted permanence?
You know, we absolutely need to continue to work towards bringing people to this country who have the ability to bring resources, financing, and create jobs. It's, I don't think, ever a good time to close the door to that kind of opportunity, either for those individuals who want to come or for the people who would be employed here as a result of their investing in our country. You know, we've built a 230 plus year history on being open, being available, being a place where people around the world can invest with confidence, and that's created lots of jobs for Americans over the years. In the future, that's going to be, I think, as important or more important than it's been in the past, as we tend to focus our job creation on industries and levels of employment that we like to think are a little higher than the average, and we've seen that in the manufacturing area, where we're bringing in more high-tech jobs and seeing more manufacturing of many products outside of the country. Like it or not, that's the tendency to keep and sustain that, to keep and allowing our kids to be able to aspire to the higher level employment that we'd like to see them be able to aspire to. We need to keep these doors open for creation of that kind of opportunity.
So how do you think the EB-5 program will impact your district in the next 5 years?
So I think that the future for EB-5 is strong for the foreseeable future, and we're certainly going to continue to support the expansion of it in Riverside County.
Thank you so much for being here today, Supervisor.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
The EB-5 program has more than a $2 billion potential economic impact for this country from international investors. These funds play a key part in securing financing for local business owners and creating local jobs. The county's and state's support of the EB-5 program is critical to our economic recovery. If you would like to learn more about the EB-5 Visa Investor Program and Riverside County, contact the Riverside County Office of Foreign Trade. Thank you for watching this edition of EB-5 Investment Report. I'm Amy Rios.